it's something I've come across actually lately a little more often, is that you start to come across people and they instantly have some sort of anti or
a chip on their shoulder.
There's almost like they're aggressively unwilling to work with other people or talk to other people because they're better than them.
Arrogant.
Or they're arrogant or whatever.
Yeah.
And across the board, I've learned over the years that those people end up the least successful people
Yes.
of the people that I know in the various industries. And
Exactly.
It's really interesting.
There's actually a rule in that.
Yeah.
There's a lesson in that too about, like talking to a potential partner or acquirer. But it's also, as you think about who might your investors be, look at who invested in your competition and talk to them. You don't, now be careful
right.
about what you disclose. You don't want to disclose, but I hear this, a lot of companies, I don't want to talk to them. They invest in my competitor. Like on the
That's a
investor
good
side,
thing. Right.
you want to see what did they see in the competitor. We're looking at the market. We understand you're a major player in this market. You've shown interest in this market. We have a similar product or we have a differentiated product, but at least get their feedback because they're probably more than happy to talk about why they did. But the other thing is, people like to hedge their bets.
Yeah.
So lots of the especially on the finance side, they may own three companies that are either competitors or they're trying to do a roll-up.
Yeah.
So don't discredit a potential investor because you think they might talk to your competitor or they might be a competitor.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Makes a lot of sense. You meet a lot of people where I know when I raised money for my company, there were a few times where somebody went, I need to speak to a partner at my firm because I know he invested in that company, there may be a conflict. And some firms were happy to do that because, they're hedging their bets. Like I know one particular firm, we were talking about real estate investing. I know one firm that's investor in almost every single one of the real estate crowdfunding platforms. Same group, investor in all the competition because they just love the industry and they want to own the industry. And some people, don't like that. They want to go all in on one person. So it's interesting. It's a good approach. I learned a lot from the people who had conflicts.
Yeah.
Does anybody, before we wrap up, does anybody have any questions in the audience? Greg, yeah.
When you were, right now, Ms. Bergman, you've got.
You can call me Klara.
You've got a group of investors that I'm assuming you've worked with on many deals, and probably bringing on a few extra ones here or there as you feel the need to.
She's not going to make an intro, dude.
You never know. What did you have in mind?
Before you developed a track record and developed these long-standing relationships, what was your success rate, I guess, in terms, and how long did it take to cultivate the relationship, to build, to create a successful investor, versus where you are now? Where did it start? What was the trajectory like?
Well, it started back in the 70s when I started. I was a residential real estate agent, and I was a very high-powered producer, and I was getting so burnt out, and I knew I would never last as a residential agent. I had to get into something that I would be able to build cash flow and growth and back-end participation. So I started buying small apartment buildings. And I'm explaining this to you because I took something that I really didn't know much about and I learned from it in a very elementary, basic way. The first building I bought was 8 units and I had a couple of investors. To this day, I don't even know why they invested, honestly. I don't even know why I invested. But anyway, it wasn't, not that we failed, it just was such a small deal, it was a waste of time. But anyway, from that, I started learning from lawyers and accountants and bookkeepers and financial people. I was picking everybody's brain on how to create a package that makes economic sense to an investor. And really, I don't focus on investors at all. I focus on my deal. And I take, like right now, I'm involved in a deal in Phoenix, Arizona with a couple of guys I met a few months ago who are in the extended stay business. I know nothing about extended stay. I didn't even know there was such a category as extended stay. And what fascinates me is the fact that I know nothing about it. So, I'm not bored. It's not another apartment building or shopping center or self-storage facility. It's something new and fresh, and I'm learning all the little nuances. So anyway, I don't have a single investor today that I know of that I could go to and say, I've got a deal for you. Because I don't know any people that have invested in extended stay hotels. But what I do know is that, and I'm packaging the deal, and it is full of hair. You know how they say this deal has a lot of hair on it? Well, not only does the deal have a lot of hair on it, but these two partners are a basket case. They are a basket case. But I have a partner that I've brought in who's very much like me. He's older. He is precise. He's a numbers guy. He has my back, and I have his back. And we have our divided duties. But anyway, we're trying to get our arms around these two younger guys. They're not babies. They're in their late 40s. But, I mean, they are unruly. They don't know what they're doing. They bought this property that's just riddled with debt. They didn't even know. They closed on the property and did not know that at the end of this year, 2017, when they have to extend this $2.6 million loan, there's going to be a $52,000 payment due. They didn't even know that. So, ask me the question again, because I'm really veering off here. Oh, how did I build my network? I really don't. I mean, I build relationships deal to deal. But what I really focus on is getting my deal so right that when I present it to whoever happens to be around, they're going to go for it. They're going to go for it. Because I'm not going to present it until it's perfect. And when it's perfect, they're going to feel it, they're going to have the confidence, and they're going to go for it. And you don't have to worry about accumulating investors, because when you have the right deal, you only have to talk to a few people, and they're going to tell other people.
And that's a really good point. It's
Yeah.
the right deal, because people ask us, well, how many investors do you have? And my standard answer is I've got about 8.8 million accredited investors. The point isn't about, you have a much better way of knowing who's out there today. You know who the family offices are, you know who the private investors are, you know who invests in real estate because of the availability of information. So really it's positioning the right type of deal for the right type of person. Once you have those deals, then it's a lot easier to say, okay, now I can approach this group. You don't have to have them in your pocket. There comes a point, when you've presented deals to a particular group, then you can go back to them for more.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not even necessary. It's more important to focus on the quality of the deal.
Absolutely.